So it appears that Sasuke as well as Naruto are down and out, at least for right now, after their encounter with Orochimaru. Naruto, number 50, I've got to... Yeah, you got a what? Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review of the awesome, the tantalizing, the epic, the snake-ridden tale of Naruto. Our last chapter, of course, saw us with the mysterious figure. It was actually someone that had stolen the face of it. It was this Orochimaru character, who everybody has been alluding to in the comments as just this terrible, just demonic, evil villain. You know, this obviously this antagonist. And as the chapter ended, after there was a decent fight, I guess you would say, between Sasuke and Orochimaru, but really to me it just really seemed like he was more playing and toying with him. You know, Sasuke did wind up using shooting a fireball at him, which kind of melted down that face that he was actually using, and ultimately he's just this despicable, slimy, snake-looking dude. He winds up going, though, before the chapter ends and actually biting Sasuke on the neck, and I don't know if he's poisoned, if he's cursed, if it's some sort of magic. I have no idea. I just know that that's how the chapter left off, right? And that's how the chapter picks up. The first few pages are Sakura is just beside herself, man. Naruto, you know, she was able to narrowly save by catching him on his clothes, actually, and pinning him against the tree as he was falling with one of her kunai. But he's laying there, you know, he's hanging there passed out. Sasuke is doubled over in pain and winds up actually passing out from the pain. And she's just sitting there all by her lonesome like, you gotta be kidding me, man. I mean, just thrown to the wolves, because you gotta remember, they're balls deep and in the midst of this forest, which is not only called the Forest of Death. It's not called the Forest of Death for no reason. There's all kinds of manner of creature and bug and everything else that are just absolutely just terrible to deal with. But then on top of it, 2/3 of her of their cell, and obviously the main fighting force, being Naruto and Sasuke, are down and out. She doesn't know if Sasuke is dying or what, so she's just absolutely beside herself. Then what winds up happening is, if you remember in the last chapter, when they wound up finding the dead bodies of the ones that Orochimaru actually impersonated, right? They wound up finding those dead bodies, and they were missing with the faces and everything. Anko, who's super sexy, by the way, too. I don't know what it is, just the way she's drawn, the curve of the eye and everything like that. She just, she's just a sexy fictional character. That I think is pretty cute. But anyway, so she goes in, and we know that she called for some black ops teams to come in and help out or whatever, to catch up when they could. But you know, she's running through the forest trying to. She knew who this was, that this was him, that this was Orochimaru, and we didn't know why. We didn't know how she knows this person. So we get a little more information on that in this chapter as she's running through the forest and kind of talking to herself, giving herself that inner monologue about what's going on. Why is he here? Is it for an assassination attempt? Is it for this? Is it for that? However, I'm going to go and I'm going to kill him. Even if I have to sacrifice my own life, worst case scenario, I can at least, you know, hold him where he is, you know, trap him, whatever, until the Black Ops teams can get there. But he will die this day, and that's kind of how she goes. And then she winds up going, and it's kind of cool, because then she's like, you know, and it'll be so and so in this way, just the way you taught me, right, Orochimaru? And she goes and sees he's like, it looks like he's like hidden in this tree. It looks like he's actually like part of the tree, you know. So I don't know if it's like the art of the doppelganger thing, or he's actually just able to. It looks like he's actually coming out of the tree. It's pretty cool looking. And anyway, he's like, impossible, you know. So they wind up tangling a little bit, and she winds up, she realizes that not only do we find out that this Orochimaru, for whatever reason or another, was her mentor. We don't know why, we don't know how, we don't know his background, we don't know if at one point he was good and then he became evil. We don't know if it was a type of thing like with Zabuza and Haku, where it was like, you know, they took her in at a young age, molded her into what he wanted, and then at some point she realized that, no, this dude's bad, you know, I got to get away from him. They don't really give us any of that. We just get this obvious that they know each other, you know, that they have some history, and quite a bit of it. So she goes and actually winds up going and pinning one of his hands on that. Says, oh, she's gonna do this technique. She goes, oh, let me see your left hand, you know, and she's gonna do this twin snakes so-and-so technique. I forget exactly what it was called here, and it might be different anyway because it's the English translation and everything else. But the technique is basically it's like a double suicide. She's gonna sacrifice her life to go and kill him. And then he's like, oh yeah, that's real nice, except for that's my doppelganger, right? so he's one step ahead, you know. And this dude is, like I said, just weird. He can turn into a snake. Just vicious with just what we've seen, and I'm sure it's probably only the tip of the iceberg as far as powers wise and everything else. But dude is definitely somebody that kind of scares me and just leaves a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach when I see him. So nonetheless, though, we wind up finding out, and she's like, "Why are you here? An assassination? What?" You know. So now she's asking him. And you know, and he says, no. He says, you know, I'm just here to. She says, are you here to? She goes, an assassination. Are you here to, you know, to assassinate the Lord Hokage, right? And he says, no, I don't have an army behind me and these big plans of grandeur like that. You know, I'm here to go and see. You know, I infiltrated the ranks in your exam over here to go and to see, find exceptional students. You know, those that might be. You know, above average, those that might be that sort of that gem, that diamond in the rough, right? And I found one and already laid my mark on him, right? And then she flips about that, you know, and she's like, yo, what are you doing? He'll die, you know? And he comes out that it's obviously of the Uchiha clan, so she knows it's Sasuke. You know, but he winds up, and then she says, you know, he'll die in this net, and he goes, well, 9 out of 10 chance that you're correct, so it's 90% chance that he will die, but maybe he'll survive like you did. So obviously he bit or poisoned or cursed or marked or whatever with his magic or his powers to her too as well when he was younger, or when she was younger. And then we find out, and he's like, what's the matter? Are you just jealous because I, you know, because I basically used you up and then left you? And, you know, it's so you know that obviously this used to be like a disciple, a pupil, or something of his, you know, a trainee or something like that. And nonetheless, though, you know, he realizes that she's, you know, she's like a Jonin level ninja of the village over here. But he warns her not to go and end the Chunin exams early, you know. And he says, you know, because obviously, you know, that's what would probably be her next move because of him being there, safety reasons, everything else, right, with what's going on. And then he goes and he explains that his 3 little minions, his disciples or whatever, from the village of Sound, right, those they didn't look trustworthy to begin with. They have been sent after, at his request, at his command, have been sent after Sasuke, right? So anyway, and then he also explains that if he does happen to survive this bite or this, again, this magic, this curse, whatever the hell it is, you know, that he has the potential to be great, not like her, which was just average. So he just completely slaps her in the face, you know, after he goes, you know, demoralizes and slaps her in the face, right? After she points him not being able to get the drop on him as far as using her suicide move, you know. And I think at first he was kind of surprised that she was actually going to go and sacrifice her life, you know, just and suicide, right? You know, just to obviously take him out. So anyway, so we get that whole situation over there, which I thought was pretty cool, and I thought it was real nice the way it was told and portrayed. There's obviously more to Anko than meets the eye. I don't know if people do know about her past and they've forgiven that, or if her past is a complete mystery, or if her past is, you know, something that she's only told a select few. I'm really not sure at this point, but these are the plot lines that they go and start putting out there and dangling in a good story that keep you interested, because now you want to find out. Now you want to know what their past is, what their history is, why this dude is like he is, right? And so I thought that was very cool. The chapter then goes and kind of flips back to, we wind up seeing, we check in with Guy and his cell. And what happened is they basically, the first day they, you know, was successful for them. They foraged, got some food, water, whatever. And then they know that everybody's going to be kind of settling down and kind of be lowering their guard, so to speak. So that's when they think it's going to be the best time to go and scout the area, maybe find, you know, find another cell or whatever, you know. We see just a quick check-in page with them. But then the chapter winds up ending about a page later. Sakura has retrieved Naruto, obviously, and Sasuke and Naruto are laying next to each other there, and both still look unconscious and definitely not too good, you know. And she's, you know, obviously over them, beside herself, doesn't know what to do. And then we wind up seeing the last panel of the chapter is actually those 3 stooges, those 3 ninjas from the Sound Village. And I call them the 3 stooges because I don't really know their names yet. There's 3 of them, and certainly they're the minions now we know of Orochimaru. The one of them looks kind of cool, though, where he's got like the bandaging, almost like the bandana bandaging, and kind of goes over one eye or whatever, so I wonder what the deal is with that. I gotta say that the characters' designs in Naruto, at least thus far, are very good. They're on point. Everyone looks unique. Everyone has a distinct look to them. and it just has this real good look and feel to it. And again, I have said this before, but I believe that the conveyance of movement and action in here is done very well. Done very well, and is probably done the best out of any series that I've looked at or read so far, because it's very difficult to show from panel to panel and clearly depict what's going on with the motion of, okay, I grabbed him here, then I stabbed him here, then I flipped him over. It's really difficult to do that, and he does a wonderful job. Kishimoto does a great job of that. So I'm assuming, too, that it only gets better, because I don't know what previous works he might have done before Naruto, but obviously the fact that it's still ongoing now, 13, 14, 15 years later, whatever it may be, is certainly a testament to, I'm sure he's gotten better as far as his craft at the artwork and that sort of thing. So that's something that I look for. Maybe others don't look at it, but I do. So, very cool chapter. My chapter question for you, though, brothers and sisters, are really, what are your thoughts, I guess, on Orochimaru and Anko, and of course, them having some sort of past and her knowing him, and then, of course, just his threat, too. He said that if you end... he explains he's got these 3 underlings, right, that are in the Chunin exams that have infiltrated the ranks, so to speak. And he threatened. What is your thought about the threat? If you end the Chunin exams early and mess up my fun, because it's all like a game to him, I'll destroy the Leaf Village. I'll destroy Konoha Village, right, or Konoha. What are your thoughts on that? Obviously the threat that was made, and that's, like I said, that's a pretty tall order to go and say, hey, listen, if you don't do what I say and let me have my fun, I'm gonna wipe out your whole village. So this dude's obviously like next level. He's kicked up a couple levels probably power wise. But let me know what your answer and your thoughts and things like that in the chapter are in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next one, Nation. Remember to follow me on my other channel, as well as Facebook and Twitter and Instagram as well.